Hi everybody, my name is Emma, this is Emma Rose and Books. I make videos about bookish stuff, so reading and writing and indie publishing and also other bits and pieces here and there when I feel like it. So if you like that kind of content, please do subscribe. Today I am going to be filming the Still a BookTube Newbie tag, which I've seen going around and I thought it would be fun to do. I've never done this one. And I think the original was made by Violet and the Neverending TBR, but I wouldn't swear to that. If that's not true, then I'll put a thing in, well, and I'll obviously link to the original creator, but I think that's who did it. There are 8 questions, and I just thought that they would be interesting to talk about. So, question 1, why do you still consider yourself a newbie? I think largely it's a case of sort of comparison, that the channels I watch have been around longer, they have more subscribers, they, you know, in comparison I'm a newbie. I think that's probably the biggest reason, but I mean realistically I have only been here for 2 years, which isn't really that long, and I definitely still have a lot to learn. I'm getting better all the time at things like editing my videos together and getting a decent setup, and says she balancing on a pile of cushions. But you know, I feel like I've found things that work quite well, but yeah, I still have a lot to learn. And yeah, it just feels like I'm still kind of like one of the little guys. So yeah, I definitely still feel like a newbie. Question 2, who were some of your greatest inspirations for joining BookTube? Well, I think maybe I had a slightly different approach to BookTube than some other people, because I know that a lot of people join it because they don't really have anybody to talk about books with, and so this is a nice outlet to talk about their love of books. I know that I see that a lot on other people's channels, that's their reason, and that wasn't really the case for me. I do talk about books to people. Yeah, I definitely have some book-loving friends, and yeah, that wasn't the reason. That a lot of it came down to, because I do AuthorTube as well, and when I started my YouTube channel, I was in this weird space where I was still kind of pursuing traditional publishing, and I wanted to join BookTube and AuthorTube because I'd seen some other channels that do that, and that's what I wanted to do, because I just wanted to talk about books. I don't want to spend the whole time talking about what I'm writing. I want to talk about what other people are writing and books that I love, and I wanted it to be all of that bookish content. But at the time, I couldn't start talking about what I was writing because I was still waiting to find out really what was going on, to make decisions about how I was going to go forward with it, which ultimately was indie publishing. I was also working as a teacher, and so I was a little bit uneasy about starting to talk about the fact that realistically I wanted to leave and become a writer. I was just in this really weird space, and so that's why I joined BookTube first, and then it was a couple of months before I brought in the AuthorTube content. Otherwise I think I would have just started everything at once, and it would have just been like, I love books, I like reading, I like writing, I like all of it, you know, and I just want to talk about it. And I think the reason for me starting a channel was because at that time I felt really powerless, like there was just nothing I could do. I was waiting on other people to make decisions, and I was waiting to learn things, and I was waiting for my life to be in a certain point, and like all these things to come together. And so I felt really powerless, and by starting to make videos and talk about books on here made me feel like I was doing something productive, and just starting to talk to people about books when I suppose maybe in a way I couldn't talk to people about books, but I kind of, not in the way that I wanted. I couldn't be as open as I wanted. There was a lot of people who didn't know that I'd written a book. Very few people knew, actually. And I was kind of shifty about talking about books and literature and stuff. So yeah, I think it was an outlet, and it was something that made me feel better at a time when I was really anxious and really kind of just didn't feel like there was anything good, like, yeah, just productive that I could do. And so that's why I started this channel, and I'm so glad that that was a direction I decided to go in. I really, really am, because engaging with the BookTube and AuthorTube communities, all the bookish communities, has just been a real highlight of my experience over the last couple of years. And so, yeah, I'm glad that it's something that I sort of felt compelled to do. Question 2, who are some of your greatest inspirations for joining BookTube? I watched totally different channels to who I watched back then. I know that I was watching Hayley in Bookland a lot then, and I stopped watching her channel. She doesn't really read the same kind of books, the kind of things that I like reading very much. Occasionally she'd talk about a book that I was into, but not very often. And Jessie the Reader the same. And I think I was watching them because they were bigger channels, so I'd sort of stumbled across them. But as I found channels that fit a little bit more with my kind of interests, I don't really watch those channels anymore. But as I say, my inspirations for starting a channel weren't just BookTube. I was also watching Jenna Moresi, who I still watch and really love her channel. I used to watch Kristen Martin, I don't really anymore. And I'm trying to think, there were definitely other people, but I remember those obviously because they're the bigger ones. And so it's seeing all these people and seeing what they do and the kind of things that they talked about and how people interacted with them in the comments and how it just seemed like such a lovely, positive thing to do that just, yeah, I decided to go for it. Yeah. Question 3. What surprised you the most after joining BookTube? That anybody watched my videos? I remember the day that I started to film, and I'd spoken to my husband about that. I thought that this was something that I might like to do, and he was like, I don't care, do what you want, basically. And I sat one evening and I filmed, actually it might have been during the day, well, who cares, and I filmed an introduction and I filmed I think my top 5 books or something like that, and it took me ages and I was really uncomfortable and there were loads of cutscenes and all that kind of thing. And I uploaded them and I was really nervous about like pressing go on it, and there were, I think, maybe 3 subscribers, and it would have been me on 2 different accounts and my husband, I think. And then within no time at all, there was somebody who I don't think watches my videos anymore, and I can't for the life of me remember what her name was, but there was a lady who subscribed and started chatting to me in the comments, and I was like, oh my god, like somebody's found my videos and is commenting, that's amazing. And then over time, particularly doing the newbie tag, I've met a lot of people that way, and you know, obviously you find channels and you enjoy them and you start talking to those people and build that community and all that kind of thing, and it just really surprised me that I sort of became part of a community, and that, as I say, that people watch my videos, that people comment, and that they subscribe, and that, you know, so thank you to anyone who has, because it's a great shock to me that when I put when I put content out, that you guys enjoy it and want to spend your time watching it. I feel really, yeah, surprised and grateful, and yeah, I honestly, when I put those first videos up, I thought, I'm just going to be here with 3 subscribers, or it might have been 2, I don't know, I don't remember, in like 10 years time, just talking to myself. So I certainly didn't expect to be here with 700 odd subscribers in 2 years time. Just, yeah, never. So no, that was the biggest surprise. Question 4, what lessons have you learned since joining BookTube? I don't know, really. Like, lessons feels like it ought to be something dramatic, like I've learned my lesson, but realistically I think it's just things about kind of creating content, things like how to get decent lighting. So I like filming in here because there's a massive window next to me just here, and so the light tends to be quite good. There's also a window here, which is why you get this weird glare sometimes, so I'm sorry about that. I have actually got the curtains closed, but there's like shafts of light still coming from that window. So, you know, I get good light in here, which improves the resolution. I've learned how to edit my videos to get the best out of the files that I get. And kind of what works for me with uploading and all of that kind of stuff. I think, you know, you make mistakes on videos and think, oh, I won't do that again. I mean, for instance, I really like filming outside, but I've learned not to do that if there's even a hint of wind. Actually, I probably could have filmed outside today. It's quite a nice day. It's cold though. So yeah, I just think I think it's that kind of thing. It's like lessons on how to make my videos kind of look good and sound good as best as I can. And these days I've started using a little intro and outro, and I know that they're nothing exceptional, but it feels like I've kind of made a step to make my channel more professional, and that I don't know, like, yeah, it feels like progress, you know. So yeah, I think it's just learning little things about making videos. And I've learned as well that although, like, I am staring down the camera right now, and the amount of times when I know that I've been staring down the camera and yet when I come to edit it, it looks like I'm looking off centre, which may be because I've got a squint, but yeah. So remembering to look at the camera, it's so tempting to, like, that's me looking at myself, that's me looking at the camera. Anyway, I don't know, I have to kind of look at myself every now and again because I have a tendency to just sort of slowly sink down. Yeah, so lessons are more like how to get good videos. Number 5, what fears do you still have? Sorry, I put my laptop a little bit far away and I'm like, what fears do you still have about your channel? I suppose that I worry that I'm too much of a jack of all trades. It's the thing that I've always done, that I don't focus on one thing and then therefore would kind of be known for one thing or like really good at one thing. Just my whole life I've always done too much, and so the fact that this isn't just a BookTube channel, this is BookTube and AuthorTube, and I sometimes put travel vlogs on here, and I'm intending to put a bit of lifestyle on here. So, you know, it's like, if I would just made BookTube videos and I got known for the kind of books that I read and the kind of content that I make, then you would think that it would be easier to follow me, if you see what I mean. I feel like people might subscribe to my channel and then find themselves presented with videos that it's like, why have you made this? This is not what you said you do. I don't know. I think I make life difficult for myself because I'm always a bit too, like, interested in too many different things. I don't know. Yeah, it's just a thing I've always done. So I suppose, yeah, that's my fear, and that makes it just challenging to grow the channel and stuff as well, because it's like, well, I talk about books, but I like all kinds of different books. It's not like I can say, oh, this is just a non-fiction channel, because I don't just read non-fiction, I read all kinds of stuff. And then I talk about the books that I write, and I don't even write books on the same kind of topics. I've written an adult book about breastfeeding and a children's book about limpets. So, you know, I just don't stick to one topic, and I think that's my greatest fear, is that I just make life difficult for myself. Next question, number 6. What kind of content would you like to create that you haven't yet? I don't know really. Bookish wise, I'm fairly happy, and I think that I'm just kind of going on a trajectory where I want to do some more like individual book reviews. I've already done some, but I'd like to do more where, although I talk about books in my monthly wrap-ups, I'd like to kind of specifically dedicate videos to particular books that I find you know, particularly thought-provoking or interesting in some way. And I'd like to do a little bit more like summaries in particular genres, like these are my favourite books within, you know, marine biology books, and these are my favourite, I don't know, like feminist books, but I feel like I'm not well read enough to do that yet, so I would like to do that. Like I said, I'd like to do a little bit more lifestyle stuff on here. Sorry about the laptop. Because I like watching that kind of stuff, and nothing like amazing, but just, I don't know, I think it's just like sharing things that I'm interested in, really, and just having this channel as a bit of an outlet for all sorts of things, not just bookish things. But I do already put travel bits on here because I like to look back and actually, although I don't put my children in those videos, and my husband is like sneak peeks occasionally, generally it's just me, but my kids still like to look back because they still like to see, like, oh yeah, we went there, and we, you know. So those are nice, and yeah, I don't know, just a bit more like, share a bit more stuff that's not just bookish, but yeah, I don't know, at the moment I'm just kind of bobbing along and filming what interests me, and we'll see where it goes. Question 7. Who have been some of the greatest supporters of your channel? Okay, so I would say the biggest supporters have been Vendi, so go see Caught Between Pages, obviously I'll link her below. She was somebody that I would talk to in the comments all the time, I still do, and she reviewed my book when it came out, and she was like a big kind of supporter and like, yeah, go on, like she's really lovely. And yeah, I would definitely go and chat to her. Also, Charlie Heathcote is just so lovely. I talk about him in these videos, but every now and again, but he's been really helpful. I chat to him occasionally on social media about, like, you know, like we might tweet each other asking, you know, how did you do this, and he's been really supportive. He even sent me some craft books, he's just really supportive as well, and of my writing. And, you know, again, he watches my videos and comments on my videos, which is nice, and the same back. And Dane reads as well, the same, like him and Charlie have both reviewed my books, which is really lovely, and he's always willing to sort of answer questions that I have, and be supportive, and he's shouted my channel out, I think maybe even twice, so shut up. These are my challenges. Was that one of the questions? Animals, it's a nice day, so the dogs are outside, shut up. Yeah, so that's really lovely. And Snow White Reader as well. She again has shouted out my channel, and we chat in the comments, and her channel is hysterical. All of those four have really great channels, and I would thoroughly recommend, do go and have a look at what they do. But they are, all four of them, just really lovely, supportive people. All four of them do BookTube, but Dane and Charlie also do a bit of AuthorTube, so depends what you like, I guess. But yeah, they're all really lovely channels. Right, tag my faves. Okay, let's see, who shall I tag? I'm gonna tag, I'm just gonna see what comes to mind a little bit. I want to tag Ray B. Shaw, because she did the best intro video, and I'll actually link her video as opposed to her channel below, because it's awesome. I think her husband wrote like a piece of music for it. It's brilliant. Just go and check it out. She does AuthorTube. Let's look for more BookTubey people. I really like, personally, I like watching Lauren in the Books. I really love her channel. She does all sorts of things as well as bookish content. She reads some really interesting books. She's got lovely, bright, bubbly personality. Would really recommend her channel. I like Lauren Wade's as well, because she talks about feminist literature a lot, and I feel like I learn a lot from her about books that I might like, and I find her reviews very interesting and thought-provoking, so I really like her channel. Let's see, Alyssa Smith is really lovely, and I've been talking to her a little bit in the comments lately. She does a little bit of AuthorTube and a little bit of BookTube, so she's really lovely. Who else? I want to put a few in that I haven't talked about before. I just watched a video today actually by Reading on the Couch. She's just got a really lovely vibe to her. She's really new. Go and check her out. She seems really nice. Oh, I read past my bedtime. How have I not talked about her? She's you know, really friendly person on BookTube, and she makes some great videos with about all kinds of different books, and she does author spotlights as well on indies, which is really lovely and supportive. Yeah, she's really lovely. And also I really like Basically Brit. She does a lot of art content as well. She talks about really fascinating books that, you know, kind of thing that I'm interested in. She's got a lovely way about her, and her videos are so soothing because she sits there painting and drawing and things as well. Her videos are just absolutely gorgeous. There's a particular channel I'm looking for, and I can't remember what the channel's called. It's so annoying. Oh, Book Your Imagination is another good one. She does things about the theatre as well as books, so yeah, again, like another interesting angle. And I love her editing. She just, her videos are so coolishly edited. Where's the one I'm looking for? I found it. I don't know why I can remember her channel name. I think it's that thing like when you watch a channel for a while, you know what their real name is, and then you forget what the channel is. It's Katie from A Sea of Tomes. She does quite chatty book reviews, so she goes into a lot of detail and talks for a really long time about them, so that's quite nice. Like, and she's got a really lovely way about her, like they're really nice soothing videos to just sit and listen to her voice, and she's really lovely too. Everybody's really nice. I can't just recommend everybody based on the fact they're lovely. And I also can't forget Cozy Reader Kelly. She reads all kinds of different things. She's a mum like me. She reads a lot as well. I think she said to me once that she reads a lot at night when she's looking after the kids. Yeah, real varied, lot of stuff. And she's just started an Instagram account actually, so go and follow her on Instagram. All of those people are lovely. I'm sorry that ended up a bit rambly because I hadn't planned it beforehand, because this is yet another piece of evidence of why I'm a BookTube newbie, because I'm poorly prepared. I'm not going to tag anyone, although I should. I think it says, who would you like to tag? I've lost the questions already. I don't know. But yeah, I'm not going to. If you want to do it and you feel that you're a BookTube newbie, then go for it. And do let me know that you did it, because I'd like to see. So yeah, if you enjoyed that video, please hit the like button. And don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more videos like this one. And leave me a comment. Let me know what you think, what your answers are to any of these questions. I love chatting to you in the comments. And I will see you all soon for another video.